तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः.
Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. We have been studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and we are somehow stuck up in the conversations of October 24, 1882. And yesterday, I said that it may be shocking to some of you. And we have to share still many thoughts on that subject. First, let me point out from the website which read out yesterday, Swami Vivekananda's comment. Swami Vivekananda says that it appears from the ancient scriptures that a man was not considered a good Hindu if he does not eat beef. So that is the most shocking to the modern Hindus. Second point I want to point out from yesterday's, there has been mention of a great Vedic scholar, P.V. Kane. Now this Kane surname is from Maharashtra, and they are supposed to be the purest of Brahmins, among which this Kane was born. But Kane is a student of history, and he has studied Mahabharata in the original, and he has said that the eating of beef has been praised because of its purity. Now, I want to point out a third thing from yesterday, and that is the mention of the Raja or King Rantideva. Rantideva, I want to talk a lot about Rantideva. And this Rantideva, you will find that what he is famous for. He was a king, and once it so happened, for 12 years, there was drought in his country. And the things had come to pass in such a way that the king gave up everything to the people. The king was suffering for hunger. King, queen, prince, and daughter-in-law. They had nothing to eat to the point of death. So understand the unselfishness of King Rantideva. They got some barley flour. They made 4 chapatis, like rotis, like something from them. Before they could eat, a Chandala appeared with his dogs and said that we are suffering for hunger. So the king gave up his share, the queen gave up her share, the prince gave up his share, the daughter-in-law gave up her share, and then actually it was a test from gods. So that Chandala appeared in his own form like Indra or some god and said that king, you were tested and you have succeeded in the test, so please ask for a boon. Raja said, I have not done this for any boon, but we are pleased, gods are pleased, so you must ask some boon. Raja said, if you can make this possible, please make it. I will suffer on behalf of all the people of the world and nobody else need suffer. Can you give this boon to me? So, this is Raja Rantidev. And about this Raja, yesterday we read that as charity, as distribution of food every day to the poor, he was killing 2,000 cows and 2,000 other animals, cooking them and distributing in charity. So see, the concept of not eating this or that never arose in the mind of the most unselfish king. Now, I want to tell you the position of Sri Ramakrishna and Ramakrishna Mission on this point. Now, here Sri Ramakrishna is telling that in my present state of mind, that is the most important word in this paragraph, that eating this or that also depends upon the state of the mind. If the mind has become soft, it does not want to eat anything non-vegetarian because of the feeling that I do not want to kill any animal. And there Sri Ramakrishna makes the exception that in the present state of feeling, I can eat fish if it is offered to the mother. And I cannot eat meat even if it is offered to the mother, but I do touch and taste it. So that the idea that, what is the meaning? Idea that the meat eating is bad or irreligious should not stand in the mind of the people. On this, I quote two incidents. First is, during Sri Ramakrishna's stay in Kashipur, Swami Vivekananda, that is Mahendranāth, with consent from Sri Ramakrishna, had taken all the future sannyasi disciples of Sri Ramakrishna to Calcutta and to a hotel and asked them to order a non-vegetarian dish for all to eat. And they ate because Swami Vivekananda asked them to eat. Coming back, Sri Ramakrishna asked each one of them how he felt about it. And then some of them said we did not like, but we ate. Some of them said it was nothing special. So Sri Ramakrishna wanted, and he got it done through Mahendranāth, that the sanskar that tells that non-veg food is against religion should be removed from the mind. Whether you do it in future or not is a different question. Among Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, let me tell you, Swami Premananda was a vegetarian. Mahapurush Maharaj was a vegetarian. But all of them on that particular day ate some non-vegetarian item. And Sri Ramakrishna wanted that. So he got Narendranath to do it. Mind you, this is the first incident. Now, in between, I remember something, so I'm telling that the concept of vegetarianism and non-vegetarianism differs in the world from country to country. In England, for example, lot of people are strict vegetarians. Not by the call of religion or anything, but they are strict vegetarians. And those vegetarians in England never take milk or milk product. Please remember the Hindus. Hindus, when they are vegetarian, their main food may become milk. In England, they ask you, what is the source of milk? Is it vegetable or is it an animal source? You are getting milk from the cow. Is it not an animal source? And so, the vegetarians in England do not touch milk or milk products. See the vast difference in the concept of vegetarianism. Now, today's situation in whole India, let us judge, and there I will tell you something about Ramakrishna Mission. If you judge Indians, the Brahmins, most of them known to me, outside mission, inside mission, are they eat non-vegetarian as a part of their modernism. Not religion or not religion, but modernism tells them what is wrong in eating flesh. Brahmins. They are unofficial non-vegetarians. In their house, they may not cook it, but they will eat outside. The Kshatriyas have been traditionally non-vegetarian. I quoted about Rama. So, that is the Kshatriyas. Now, Vaishyas in India, throughout India, that is UP, in UP or Punjab, many Vaishyas have mingling with Jains. They intermarry Hindus and Jains. Now in Jainism and Buddhism, this not eating flesh is a very strong point. On the other hand, I would say the Vaishyas have followed the Brahmins, not in modern Brahmins. Vaishyas as a whole in India are mostly vegetarians throughout India. Now, in South, the famous Vaishyas go by the name Chettiar. Shreshti is Hindi. Sanskrit. That means moneyed people. In Hindi, it has become Seth surname. Sethji, Sethi. In Maharashtra or Karnataka, Shetty. In Tamil Nadu, Chetti, Chettiar. Now, these people are vegetarians in general. Now, Mahapurush Maharaj had a famous Chettiar devotee. Do you know? Avinashalingam Chettiar, an unmarried Chettiar who was education minister in the first Congress government. He is the founder and creator of the Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya at Coimbatore. Very powerful person. Now he came to Calcutta to meet Mahapurush Maharaj and lived with him for some time. One day he went to hotel in Calcutta and he ordered bread with butter. Now, because he was a vegetarian, and that is the food which he thought is easily taken. Now the waiter, what he gave him, Avinashi does not know. He ate that thing with the clear concept that he is eating bread and butter. Now when the time of payment came, he went to the cashier and he asked him, what have you eaten? He said, bread and butter. But the waiter who had served him came there and said, sir, I have served him bread and omelette. That is eggs preparation. Avinashi had never understood that. And he was charged for bread and omelette. He felt a little sorry on that account, lot of sorry, why little. Coming back to Belur Math, he narrated the whole thing to Mahapurush Maharaj. Mahapurush Maharaj was very happy. And he said, you South Indians not only are vegetarians, but are proud because of that vegetarianism. You, I know, look down upon those who eat meat. And by God's grace, that ahankar of yours is lost today. So the point comes to the same thing again and again. So I think now sufficiently I've spoken on this subject that according to individual he and state of his mind, he should judge whether what food suits his health, what food suits his spiritual life, and eat accordingly. Need not consider this vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Now, another point which I spoke yesterday was that in the Marathi and Hindi translations of Gospel, this portion has been removed totally because the mind of the average Marathi reader, I told you that in India, Maharashtra, many states, that let us divide them into two parts. One is, if they are Kshatriyas and others, they won't mind eating, but they feel that sadhus, Thakur, incarnation, how they can eat. And their system of mind has been so much colored by this vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Their system has become tuned to think that non-vegetarianism is something cruel, and so the religious people should never eat it, or they do not eat it. And if in the gospel they come across this passage, their nerves will be shattered. And at the outset, if they develop a hatred or dislike for Sri Ramakrishna, their finer system will feel revolt and they will stop reading gospel. They will lose their faith on Sri Ramakrishna, and that is not desirable at all. So it is not like hiding. It is not like playing any tricks on the minds, but with the assumption that their minds, if the system revolts against this idea. You remember in the beginning of the gospel, there the example Thakur gave was that mother fish has come to the house and mother cooks it, or as per the choice of the eater and as per his digestive system, she cooks fish in 4 or 5 different ways, gives the same fish but in different forms to suit the taste and suit the physical condition. In Marathi and Hindi translations, this has been converted to potato or some such thing. There also, the idea is this, that at the outset, the finer system of the readers should not be attacked. So, these are certain observations which I wanted to make. In the Ramakrishna Mission, everything is open. There is nothing secret. And so, these are the principles. In the Ramakrishna Mission yesterday, I told you that Swami Pitambarananda took Thakur's disciples so that the sanskara should be broken. But in the present Ramakrishna Mission, nobody is forced to do anything. And so there are clear demarcations where the vegetarians and the non-vegetarians will eat their meals. Within the same kitchen, within the same dining hall, there are separate lines for vegetarians and non-vegetarians. And so this is the situation in Ramakrishna Mission. I think I have talked quite a lot about it, and because we should be open, we are studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna through English language, and so whatever comes in the English language, we have to read. If it differs from the original Bengali, we have to tell. And so I stated everything in regard to this. Now, let us proceed there. In my present, and mind you, Sri Ramakrishna is talking this to Balaram Bose, who being a Vaishnava was totally against this eating of non-veg food. Let me tell you about Thakur and Balaram now. Let me quote some incidents from the great Leela Prasanga, great master. Balaram, one day, he was traditionally not only non-eater, but non-killer. That is, the other area goes into ahimsa. So he was never hurt any animal. Now, before I talk of Balram, I remember one of my friends, a brahmachari, had sent me a small video clipping. And it was about an English small girl. And she is telling her mother, I will eat anything you serve me, but not animal food. Then the mother asked, this I have made, that I have made, it is animal food. And she says, mother says, why? She says, the animals, do they feel all right when you cook them? Do they not feel sorry? So I will not eat. Mother asks her, what about fish? She is a small girl. She so asks, is fish animal? Yes, then I will not eat. So the sensitivity of some people are like that. So I remember that funny, nice video, the expressions on that girl's face, small baby girl. Now, about Thakur and Balaram. One day, Balaram felt troubled by mosquitoes during his meditation. So the thought came, a reflex thought came that let me smash them. But the old sanskaras of Vaishnavism prohibited him from doing so. And a conflict arose in his mind. Whether for meditation mosquitoes should be killed or not. Now all of us vegetarians easily smash the mosquitoes. But Balaram felt that. And he thought he could not solve the problem. And he thought it is best to ask Sri Ramakrishna about him. And so he started going towards Dakshineshwar. On the way, he thought he has not seen Sri Ramakrishna killing even the smallest insects. And so this conflict has come in me due to something wrong. So no need of asking him. I wanted to kill mosquito because of selfish instinct. So the answer is clear. But when I was going to my guru, let me go. So he reached Sri Ramakrishna's room and he saw Sri Ramakrishna taking out from his pillow that bugs and smashing them and telling that these bugs do not allow me to sleep, so I am smashing them. Sleep, not meditation. And Balaram got his answer. That sleep, that is proper care of your own body for the sake of sadhana. Meditation, anything which is lifting you towards God, these are the main considerations, not the small killing or not. But another thing flashed before his mind, that all these days I have not seen Sri Ramakrishna doing like that. Why I saw it today? So Sri Ramakrishna's behavior would be according to the needs of the mind of the disciple who came to him. And to this Balaram, Sri Ramakrishna is talking. So by now, Balaram has grown in his mind and Sri Ramakrishna is telling him the present feeling of his. And that is another important point here, that to such a Balaram, Sri Ramakrishna is telling this. Now I think enough I have spoken on this point. I can't eat any meat, even if it is offered to the Divine Mother. This is a commented yesterday. But I taste it with the end of my finger, lest she should be angry. She should be angry because it is hers, sanctified by her, and I am not eating. And so, instead of eating, I touch it and touch to my tongue. Laughter. People have thought this is a strange behavior, so they laugh. Well, next para, huh? Well, can you explain this state of my mind? So because he introduced the state of the mind, he is describing something about it. Once I was going from Bardwan to Kamarpukur in a bullock cart, when a great storm arose. Some people gathered near the cart. My companion said they were robbers. So I began to repeat the names of God, calling sometimes on Kali, sometimes on Rama, sometimes on Hanuman. What do you think of that? He is asking Balram, what do you think of that? And Master comments on this. Was the Master, that is Master Mashai comments on this, was the Master hinting that God is one, but is addressed differently by different sects? Thakur believes all sects, all names. So sometimes he is taking that name, sometimes as that, not as a flickering state of the mind, but by his natural action, he is telling people that you can take any name of God you feel who can protect you. Master to Balaram. Now again he is pointing to Balaram, Maya is nothing but woman and gold. So he resumed that why people cannot go to God? Maya, woman and gold. We explained it. A man living in its midst gradually loses his spiritual alertness. He thinks all is well with him. The scavenger carries a tub of night soil on his head, and in course of time loses his repulsion in it. I was using this word. If in the beginning Marathi or other people feel a repulsion, they will not help their spiritual growth. One gradually acquires love of God through the practice of chanting God's name and glories. So this is the advice which he had given to him in the beginning. He is repeating that to Balaram, that the main thing in life is to love God and through that love to reach Him. And how to love God? How this taste in God will come, and that is by practice of chanting God's name and glories. So if we continue chanting God's name and glories, the taste will develop. Because the mind will tell you, this is the name of God, who is the center of our life, the center of all our attractions. And so, by repeating that name, practicing the repeating that name, the love will grow. As the saying goes, one does not succeed. Now here, something is missing. And that something is that, oh, this should not have been missed. This is to M. This is to Master Mahashaya, not to Balram. It's an important thing, please. Note it in your books. As the saying goes, no. Master Mahashaya was shy by nature. And so, singing God's name, he has told to Balaram. And he has told this to Master Mahashaya long back. And Master Mahashaya would not do that in public, even before Sri Ramakrishna. Though he liked Sri Ramakrishna doing that, others doing that, but he, being shy of nature, would not do that. And to this, Master Mahashaya Thakur is saying this sentence. It's not to Balram. And Thakur once wanted Master to join the Kirtan. He pulled him, telling others. People said that he is not joining. Thakur said that in the school he will show his teeth to the students, and here he feels shy. So that is the important point here. It is not to Balram. So, as the saying goes, Instead of that, in Bengali, Ote Lajja Korte Nai. That means he is telling Balram that by practice in chanting God's name or singing His glories, one develops love. And he sees that Master Masha is not following that. We should follow. And why is not following? Because of feeling of shame, because of feeling of bashfulness. See, this connection is lost. And so he is telling Master Masha, please do not feel. One should not feel shame in that, in singing God's name. And then he adds his principle. Most important principle of the progress in spiritual life. So as the saying goes, is not what is in the Bengali. Ote laja kote nai. In general, and to Master Masha, in that one should not feel shame in singing the name of God. And then he says, Lajja Gruna Bhai Teen Thakte Nai. One does not succeed, one does not see God, so long as one has these three, shame, hatred, and fear. This is for all the devotees. This is not about meat eating or anything. This is about chanting the name of God, that one should not feel lajja, grina, bhai. Not only in this, but lajja one feels due to body consciousness. That must go. Grina one feels because of superiority complex. That one should not feel. Though he has talked about the sweeper just now, but the devotee should never feel grina, hatred, or aversion, and bhai, fear. The only fear in life is loss of I or loss of my. That includes the fear of death. Because one feels if the body dies, I am dying. One feels fear even to fully merge in God because the I will be lost. So this fear is an obstruction, and so shame, hatred, and fear should not be allowed to hamper our progress towards God. That is teaching to all, especially to M or Master Masha at that point, because he is not joining, he is not taking to heart that teaching of Thakur, which he is telling to Balaram, though he has told it to Master Masha in the very second day. And so he knows the Master's mind and he is telling like that. Then he shifts. At Kamarpukur, they sing Kirtan very well. The devotional music is sung to the accompaniment of drums. The Bengali instrument is called khol. And Thakur is telling that when this speciality of India, the foreigners marveled, they have something like tympanium, and that from the percussion instrument, so much bhava can be created. So much music can be added by the percussion instruments. We have famous pakhwajis in India, famous tabla players in India, who can produce songs, who can produce the whole songs by the rhythm on the tabla or pakhwaj. And so Thakur is adding that the kirtan gets more intense when it is accompanied by the chord. Nakud Acharya's Gan Chamatkar. He tells the name of a particular kirtan singer in Kamarpur that he is singing is famous. Now he turns back to Balaram. To Balaram. Have you installed any image at Vrindavan? Because Balaram lived in Vrindavan, his family had house there. Balaram, yes sir, we have a grove where Krishna is worshipped. It is called Kalababu's Kunja, and mother stayed there. Master, I have been to Vrindavan, so Vrindavan immediately brings Master Macha's association, Thakur's association. The Nidu grove is very nice indeed. In Vrindavan, the main grove where Krishna is supposed to have played Ras Leela with the gopis and specially danced with Radha is called Niduvan. And in that Niduvan, it is supposed that even today, Bhagavan Krishna plays with the gopis in the night. And Thakur had visited that. And that, because it gives the intensity of love of Krishna, Thakur has liked it. And he said, Nidu grove is very nice indeed. So we come to the end of conversation on October 24, 1882, and proceed to next, where the chapter is number 5, heading is the Master and Keshav, and October 27, 1882 is the date. And that thought comes to the mind. I told you it was the influx of Buddha's ideas that people in India became vegetarians. It may be that as the civilization grows, man's senses develop and he develops many food items. They are not naturally available to him. Meat was naturally available to him. But then he develops many types of foods. And so gradually he may overgrow the idea of dependence on beef and might have become vegetarian. That is another stream of thought. Now, October 27, 1882, it was Friday, the day of the Lakshmi Puja. After Durga Puja, on the Purnima, there is Kojagiri Lakshmi Puja. Keshav Chandra Sen had arranged a boat trip on the Ganges for Sri Ramakrishna. That he used to do quite often. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the steamboat with Keshav and his Brahmo followers cast anchor in the Ganges alongside the Kali temple at Dakshineshwar. The passengers saw in front of them, so there what they saw is being described. And Master Masha also was with them. The passengers saw in front of them the bathing ghat and the chandni. Chandni is a rooftop. The main ghat, main steps to come up from the river has a canopy above it That is called Chandni. So the Ghat means the steps and the Chandni. To the left in the temple compound stood 6 temples of Shiva, and to their right another group of 6 Shiva temples. In between is situated this Chandni. The white steeple of the Kali temple, the top. The tree tops of the Panchavati and the silhouette of pine trees, silhouette, that means only the outer form, stood high against the blue autumn sky. The garden between the two Navats, music rooms, one to the south, one to the north, so in between is the garden. The gardens between the two Navats were filled with fragrant flowers, and along the bank of the Ganges were rows of flowering plants. So, Navats are little away from the Ganges. First, the Shiva temples, and immediately there are flower gardens. Proceed, again there are flower gardens. Where in those days? And along the bank of the Ganges were rows of flowering plants. The blue sky was reflected in the brown water of the river. Why the river is brown? Because Ganges carries lot of mud, soil. Even especially when it comes from that side and this side, it carries a lot of mud. So it appears brown, but the blue sky is reflected in that brown. Water of the river, the sacred Ganges, associated with the most ancient traditions of Aryan civilization. Aryan civilization spread along the Ganges. Ancient, the outer world appeared soft and serene, and the hearts of the Brahmo devotees were filled with peace. So before meeting Sri Ramakrishna, this is the state of the Brahmo devotees. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room talking with Vijay and Harlal. Vijay Krishna Goswami I have come across many times. Harlal is a new name. Harlal was a Brahmo devotee belonging to the general Brahma Samaj, but he had become attracted to Sri Ramakrishna and used to visit Dakshineshwar many times, maybe in company with Vijay or alone also. So he was with Thakur. Some disciples of Keshav entered bowing Thakur's room. Bowing before the master, they said to him, "Sir, the steamer has arrived. Keshav Babu has asked us to take you there." That means Sri Ramakrishna was previously informed of this, and now they say, he has sent us to take you there. A small boat was to carry the master to the steamer. No sooner did he get into the boat than he lost outer consciousness in Samadhi. Now that is Sri Ramakrishna. Give up this veg and non-veg and all that talk. Sri Ramakrishna, as soon as he enters boat, in Ganges, yet to meet Keshav, he enters into Samadhi. Just for nothing. Habit. No sooner did he get into the boat than he lost outer consciousness in Samadhi. Vijay was with him. M was among the passengers. As the boat came alongside the steamer, all rushed to the railing to have a view of Sri Ramakrishna. Keshav became anxious to get him safely on board. With great difficulty, the master was brought back to consciousness of the world and taken to a cabin in the steamer. Still in an abstracted mode, he walked mechanically, leaning on a devotee for support. So from Samadhi he has come out, but still intoxicated in Bhava. With the help of a devotee, he is coming mechanically. Keshav and the others bowed before him, but he was not aware of them. Inside the cabin, there were a few chairs and a table. He was made to sit on one of the chairs. Made to sit, he is not aware. Keshav and Vijay occupying two others. Some devotees were also seated, most of them on the floor, while many others had to stand outside. They peered eagerly through the door and windows. Sri Ramakrishna again went into deep samadhi and became totally unconscious of the outer world. As the air in the room was stuffy because of the crowd of people, Keshav opened the windows. He was embarrassed to meet Vijay, since they had differed on certain principles of the Brahma Samaj, and Vijay had separated himself from Keshav's organization, joining another society. Another society means not outside Brahma Samaj. And joining means he was a part of the party which played. Vijay, I think I've told you about this, or maybe in Leela Prasanga talk. Let us hear a little about it here. In Keshav chapter, we have heard about it. Now there was a Brahma Samaj created by Raja Ram Mohan Rai. The idea was we worship Nirakar Brahman. And the next leader was Devendranath Tagore. He was still living, but separately in a houseboat in the Ganges for sadhana. Third leader was Keshav Chandra Sen. Now, the Samaj was moving according to Keshav's ideas from time to time. So they said, no, this will not do. We should have some set of rules. Now they had social reforms also as a part, because Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a great reformist. So, in the Brahma Samaj, this element also was there. And the tradition which was bad in their eyes was the marriage of girls when they are too young. So making the rules, they made a rule that girls should not be married below this age. Now Keshav had a daughter below that age. But he got, you see, marriages in those days were prominently arranged. So Keshav thought he got a very good husband, and the family of the husband, the prince of Kuch Vihar, a state in northern Bengal. And so he got his sister and daughter married. Now this made a revolt amongst his disciples, who thought rules he has broken. And there were certain other points that Keshav is being influenced by the Indian ideas more and more. Who is not, let me tell you, in the Christian church in Kerala I have seen, they call it the Indianization of church, and they wear in a particular ashrama I visited, Gerua cloth and many traditions like our Ramakrishna Mission. So, Keshav, because of his Thakur's influence and by his own inclination, had become more Indianized. So, the party which separated called theirs a general Brahma Samaj, Sadharan Brahma Samaj. That means universal in appearance, not Indian. And Vijay and Shivanath were their leaders. Now, during those days, there were a lot of quarrel. Vijay used to criticize Keshav like anything, though he was his dear disciple before. So now, both parties were influenced by Thakur. So Vijay has come with Thakur. Keshav and Vijay are sitting on two chairs. So, he was embarrassed, Keshav, to meet Vijay, since that differed on certain principles of the Brahma Samaj, and Vijay had separated himself from Keshav's organization, created another Brahma Samaj. The Brahmo devotees looked wistfully at the master. Okay. That is, with eagerness, they looked at Sri Ramakrishna. Gradually, he came back to sense consciousness, but the divine intoxication still lingered. He said to himself in a whisper, Mother, why have you brought me here? They are hedged around and not free. Being householders, they are hedged around by their being householders and by their limited ideas also. Can I free them? So Thakur's purpose of meeting them was to remove those shackles. But he's asking, can I free them? Did the master find that the people assembled there were locked within the prison walls of the world? Did their helplessness make the master address these words to the Divine Mother? Sri Ramakrishna was gradually becoming conscious of the outside world. Neil Madhav of Gazipur and a Brahmo devotee were talking about Pavahari Baba. We shall take up this topic on Thursday. Tomorrow is, yes, today is Tuesday, tomorrow is university class. So on Thursday, we will take up this Neil Madhav, Pavahari Baba and the further talk during that steam ride. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiridhitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.